One of the things that has recently made me worried was, of course, the Oscars.
When you were young and your heart was an open book, you used to say, live and let live.
And at the Oscars, they did a big James Bond production. And they sang some of the songs and showed some of the movie clips. And so on one hand, it's like, oh, okay, the Oscars, here we are, the Oscars. This is the elite. This is the awards. This is supposed to be the top notch. This is what everyone wants to achieve. And they mention James Bond. So that's good, right? I mean, Bond is now being talked about. And I think a lot of the reason why he's being talked about is because of the latest transition with the Amazon taking over. But I mean, I got to be honest. When the Oscars did that James Bond tribute, I thought it was pretty bad. And the singing, I thought the singing was really bad. And yeah, I mean, the tone was off. Their voices were weak. And what concerns me is a lot of people out there heard that and they're thinking, oh, it's beautiful. Oh, they sang it so beautiful. And I'm thinking, this is what people find as acceptable talent. I kind of feel like the expectations or the bar for a lot of this talent has really, really come down as far as talent is concerned and singing ability. I didn't think it was very good. What scares me about that is the very fact that the audience out there, the new audience out there, they don't expect or they're fine with a lesser quality product. And that has me worried because if what I saw at the Oscars, if that's the kind of talent that they're going to be pushing at the Bond franchise now, and that's going to be acceptable. Any one of those, if they were to sing one of the Bond theme songs, let's say they're going to get the new Bond theme song, and if they're the ones that are going to be singing the new Bond theme, we're in trouble. I mean, it's just, the new Bond theme is going to be really bad. So that's got me concerned. And so I remember not too long ago, there were some videos, there was a live video that I got to listen in on, and it had Being James Bond and Dutch Bond fan. And so there was a live conversation going on. Now, I jokingly had put a comment in on that saying something to the effect of, oh, okay, in the next Bond movie, what'll happen is Bond will same day order himself some bullets, and an Amazon truck is going to show up and deliver, like, same day delivery for some bullets or something that he needs while he's sitting, just as a joke. But then at the Oscars, the joke about Bezos, the owner of Amazon, about him coming to the Oscars, and they talked about Amazon taking over Bond. Well, they even made a joke of the owner of Amazon, and they're just like, oh, here he is on the red carpet, and a box gets delivered. But then they go to the seat. They go to his seat, and they're just like, hey, where is he? We saw him get delivered. Where is he? But then they show like a porch pirate video of somebody stealing the box off the red carpet. I thought that was pretty funny.
Hey, big news recently. Amazon has taken over the 007 franchise, and they just announced the next James Bond. Did you know that? Yeah. It's Amazon Senior Vice President of Global Affairs, Steve Belsky. Speaking of Amazon, we have some footage of Amazon chief Jeff Bezos arriving tonight on the red carpet. This is great. Let's see if we can get out there, and here he comes. And yeah, there he is. He seems undamaged. Hey, at least he made it. Wait, where's Jeff? What happened to Mr. Bezos? Oh, for God's sake. Why? Why?
That was, I mean, there weren't too many lively moments of the Oscars. I thought that little jab was actually pretty funny. Yeah, it was pretty, I mean, the Oscars was pretty dull from what I could tell. I watched most of it, in and out. And I mean, you could really tell that they were looking for some excitement, because Mick Jagger came walking out, and he came walking out, and he was doing his strut as he's walking out, and just his energy of when he walked out on stage, just his energy got everybody up on their feet, and they were clapping and cheering and stuff. They were begging for a reason to cheer because the night was so boring. So that kind of really, to me, demonstrated what the energy in the room was like. But so they were joking about Amazon. And so then I was thinking, I can actually see them joking in a Bond movie. There's going to be some Amazon references in there that's probably just going to be like, oh, come on. It's just going to cheapen it. So I'm a little worried about that as well. So at first I had put out a video there. I actually deleted the video. I think like maybe 30 people even looked at it. I don't know how many will even see this, but it was just me raging at first about Amazon taking over the Bond franchise. And I was really upset about it. But then there were talks in the community about, oh, this might be good. This could be good. And, a lot of people are just excited that Bond is being talked about and that there's movement. Something's going to happen. And it just made me think, okay, well, maybe it would be interesting to see what they're going to do. But then the Oscars, it scared me as far as what they consider to be good. And then some of the ideas, there was an article that came out saying, oh, these are all these directions that the Bond franchise could go with Amazon. And I kid you not, in this article, it talks about things I've joked about in comments on some other people's videos and live chats. Because I remember in that live chat, I even commented saying, oh yeah, they'll do like a 90-day fiancé with the Bond girls or something. And wouldn't you know, in this article, that is something that they were suggesting as a direction that Amazon could go with the Bond franchise. It wasn't the 90-Day Bride, but it was like a Temptation Island, kind of a dating show that they could do. There was mixology, the Bond drinks. So I'm thinking, okay, so Amazon could begin to just saturate the Bond name with menial and ridiculous things. Dating, cooking shows. What was some of the other ones? I mean, construction type things, gadgets, like a show where people are making gadgets. Maybe that one could be interesting, like a Q branch type show. People coming up with different spy gadgets. That one might be kind of interesting, actually. Animated, I think maybe a serious James Bond Jr. Animation could actually be pretty interesting. They could take that and go quite a few different directions with it. But the silly things, there were a lot of silly things that were suggested, and that's kind of what's got me worried as well. That they will go in the direction of silliness with Bond rather than just kind of sticking with the format. So a new Bond movie, of course, I think we all want that. But in there, it was suggesting in this one article, again, that same suggestion of, well, what if they make it to where Bond and 007 is just a name and number that gets passed on from one agent to the next? And I'm thinking, no, because all that's going to do is just open it up for some of the other ideas that Barbara Broccoli had said was dumb. She doesn't want it to go that direction. But if they do that, it just goes against everything, because Bond was his name. We just had in the later movies even talked about how he got that name, being adopted and things. So Bond is Bond. I could see the 007. You can see the numbers getting refurbished and recycled, because they lose agents all the time. I mean, how many 009s do you think they had? Because 009 kept getting killed. So of course, the number itself could be something that gets recycled through agents. That's to be expected. But Bond is Bond. That's his name. That was his character. So I could see where maybe they go different agents. But then you just have any other spy show. You've got Alias. You've got 24. You've got just kind of any kind of spy show, really. So that's some of the concerns that I had with that. But there are some opportunities. So I will give in on that one. There is some opportunities where there could be some interesting things that they do. I hope they do some of the interesting things and not the silly things. But one thing is for sure, now that they have some control over it, they're going to want to make money with it. They're going to want to be able to take that and run. They wouldn't have wanted that control unless they already knew that, hey, once we get this control, we could start it up. We can start doing this, whatever they've got planned. They can start moving forward, because that's why they're there. They're there to make money. And so we'll see. And I know there's been a lot of negative talk about just like, well, look what Amazon's done with all these other series. But then there's talk saying, well, don't judge them before they're not guilty before being proven innocent. But I don't think that logic holds up. I honestly don't think that logic holds up. And the only reason is because it's almost like saying, okay, so this person has committed robbery 20 different times. So when we let him out, well, let's not presume he's just going to commit robbery again. I mean, we don't want to say that he's guilty before he's innocent. Let's not presume he's just going to commit robbery again. If they've done it that many times, honestly, what do you assume? When they get out of jail, what do you think they're going to go back to jail for? So that kind of logic doesn't make sense to me. Saying, well, let's give the chance. They're not guilty before being innocent. Look at the track record of what they've done with franchises. and this is one of the biggest. So that's I think that, so that's my logic on it. That's why I'm not saying, oh yeah, they're absolutely going to ruin it. Who knows? But look at the track record. Odds are they're going to absolutely ruin it. I mean, the odds are overwhelmingly in that favor, in that direction. We will see. But anyway, if you saw the Oscars, tell me what you thought. If you saw that the James Bond tribute, that was, I thought was awful. Just awful. Tell me what you thought, please. And hopefully some people will see this and be able to voice their opinions about all of this. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you in the next one. All right, bye.